Hello and welcome back to the Commander Lurpack YouTube channel. So in today's video I'll be continuing the rather mad project of having a Napoleonic themed Solar Auxilia army. So it was a little bit stupid, this idea, because I only had a month left until an event that I was attending, a Horus Heresy event where I'll be bringing this Solar Auxilia army. And I had 2,500 points to paint in that month, and it consisted of mostly infantry, because I was trying to replicate the line infantry of a Napoleonic army. So if you haven't seen the first video where I start this rather mad debacle, then here's a quick recap of how I went down the 3D printing Napoleonic rabbit hole. So when the Liber Imperium came out, I got rather excited about starting a Solar Auxilia army. And then I started reading through the rules and their cohort doctrines, and in particular the Ultramar pattern cohorts, and things just started to come together. Got to paint about 200 chaps for an event that's just over a month away. So wish me luck, because I actually need it.
The beacons are lit, city! The beacons are lit! Gun knuckles for aid!
And Rohan will answer. Muster the Rohirrim!
So after seeing my video, my mate Simon kindly let me use his airbrush to do a white zenithal and then put the Imperial blue on all the boys. Now this was my first time using an airbrush, and I was blown away by its devil magic, but it definitely sped this step up by many hours. Then began the endless painting of men. I did record countless hours of time lapses, but it was tedious enough me doing it, so there's no point boring you chaps with it. Basically at this point I realised I was in deep trouble and called in reinforcements. My mates Tom, Simon and Lauren and my partner Emily answered the call for aid and helped the project become a possibility. In total around 400 hours of painting went into this army. And if the infantry were not complicated enough to paint, Games Workshop decided to complicate things further with the release of Imperial Militia. The temptation to add some cavalry to my Napoleonic themed solar army was just too strong. I immediately caved in and found some tasty fires on Maker's Cult, and you can guess what happened next. I did some research on Napoleonic cavalry colours and felt the French cuirassiers, I think that's how it's pronounced anyway, fit the aesthetic of the files best, and decided to go for these colours. Now, to say it was a fine line between finishing the project and failing is not an understatement. I was literally painting Napoleon himself the night before leaving for the tournament. But with a big thank you to my friends, it was done. Here are some photos of my Napoleonic boys before I tell you how the tournament itself went. So the night before the tournament, I met up with some uni friends and went to a gig. The White Buffalo is great. If you haven't heard him, go check him out. And let's just say too many beverages were consumed, and the next day I was rather worse for wear. I played 3 games with my Napoleonic chaps and suffered many hundreds of casualties and lost all 3 games. But my chaps looked fabulous whilst dying. That's what truly matters.
Field Marshal Haig has formulated a brilliant new tactical plan to ensure final victory in the field.
Will this brilliant plan involve us climbing out of our trenches and walking very slowly towards the enemy, sir? It's the same plan that we used last time, and the 17 times before that.
There is, however, one small problem.
That everyone always gets slaughtered in the first 10 seconds.
That's right. And Field Marshal Haig is worried that this may be depressing the men attached.
However, despite my lack of skill as a general, I managed to win Best Painted Character with Napoleon. Here is a photo of hungover Liam receiving said award. I had a great time at the tournament hosted by James Gibb at Bristol Vanguard. Check them out for some really cool events. I think we're planning to go back potentially this year. Hopefully I'll be less hungover this time and actually, coherent. And I'm super happy with my finished army and really glad that I did the project. I, however, have taken a rather long break from painting afterwards, as was rather burnt out.